kick it off for the Michigan State Spartans. Michigan receiving the ball, and will have the first possession with Jamie Morris and Alan Jefferson, the deep people. He's put his two tailbacks back there now to return the opening kickoff. It's on. Bobbled around by Jefferson, but the sophomore from Detroit finally controls it and gets it out to about the 20-21-yard line. Elliott, Huzar, Vitale, Chester, Doring, Brown. Big people up front. I mean really big people for the Michigan Wolverines. McMurtry and Colasar are wide. Quarterback to Demetrius Brown. Bunch will open at fullback. Jared Bunch is a 225-pounder. And, of course, Jamie Morris will come in there at the tailback position. All right, call it first down from the 21. And they send Chris Callaway in motion and give it to Morris. They fake the reverse. Morris keeps it, gets a block on the corner, and breaks it. Out to the 41. 20-yard pickup. Todd Crum saved the touchdown. So Michigan starts out east and west, and then got it going north and south for the big gainer. Brown gives it to Morris again, and Jamie runs into the middle. And there's never going to be a whole lot of room in the middle against this defensive alignment, consisting of the down guys, Bergen, Nichols, Davis, and Buddy. The linebackers are Moore, Snow, and Larson, and you're going to hear Snow's name called a lot. He always gets in on a lot of plays. Reed, Miller, Crum, and Barnett are the defensive people in the secondary for Michigan State. It'll be second down from the 44, second and 7. That's McMurtry in motion. And ball goes to Jamie Morris, bouncing outside, runs away from one tackler, and hits the sideline right at midfield. So he's a little bit short of the first down by a yard. Third down and 1 with Phil Webb coming into the backfield now as they line it up in a wishbone formation. Give it to Morris, gets a block, turns the corner on second effort, and appears to have his first down, and he does at the Michigan State 47. He got away from Harlan Bennett. On first down from the 47, Colasar goes in motion for Michigan, and Morris has it one more time and gets daylight on the right side and goes down the sidelines, tiptoeing all the way to the 34 of Michigan State. And again, Todd Crum makes the hit. Yeah, Bunch laid a hit on the pursuer. Got his man, and Morris got his yards, and he got a first down for Michigan at the state 34. Demetrius Brown for his first pass goes down the middle with it, hits Colasar inside the 15, down at the 14. Now he's going to go to a double tight end alignment, and the right side of the line where Big John Elliott works, probably going to see a lot of action right about here. John is 305 pounds. Give it to Morris. He goes that way, picks his way through the traffic, and a penalty flag here against Michigan State, face mask. And the Wolverines are going to move it on downfield as a result of the penalty. Brown to Morris. And Jamie gets to the 4.
Morris just made good moves to pick up some positive yards.
Back to the wishbone as Phil Webb checks in with Jared Bunch and Jamie Morris. Big man up front gets it, penalty flag goes down. Bunch carries, gets what appears to be the first down, but let's see about the penalty flag. It came from one of the men on the side. Line judge threw the flag. Well, let's see about the piece of laundry here. The Michigan people say it's on Michigan State. Let's see what Jim Kimberling says. He agrees, offside against the Spartans. It is first and goal from the 2 for Michigan. Morris bouncing outside, trapped behind the line of scrimmage, and brought down back on the 6. John Miller, the strong safety, was the man that got the first hit on him. Second and goal from the 6. Brown wants to throw it. Out of bounds. He could not stop, and he went out of bounds back on the 13-yard line. He kept looking and looking and looking. He knew pursuit was there. Derek Reed, who came to Michigan State out of SMU, chased him all the way to the sidelines, and then By the time Demetrius realized where he was out of real estate. Third down and goal from the 13. Straight back, pressure coming. One man misses Brown. His pass is away into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for Jeff Brown. On the field now, Mike Gillette for a field goal try from 31 yards, and it is good. And so he has tied Ali Haji Sheikh as Michigan's all-time leader in field goals with 31. Right now, Craig Johnson and Blake Ezor are the deep people for Michigan State, as Mike Gillette, who's put his name in the record books, will kick it off for Michigan. The Spartans about to get the ball for the first time. He's hooked the kick and hooked it out of bounds, so he'll back up 5 and kick it again. Gillette from the 30. Hits it high, and it's a relatively short kick as Johnson comes up and takes it for Michigan State. And the Spartans will start from their 32-yard line. So that's pretty good field position as Mandarich, Kula, Sherma, Tata, Hool, and Sargent open up front. And the backfield consists of McAllister, the quarterback, and everybody believes, and certainly the coaching staff believes, that he has to play a key role today, along with Lorenzo White. Hugh is the fullback, starting at fullback with Boyer outside along with Andre Ryson. Ryson is the guy that Bo fears. Schembechler worries about Ryson and the big play. Hugh is not in there. It is James Moore in at fullback. To start out of the I formation, it goes to Lorenzo White, and White will get maybe a yard before he is rolled up by the Michigan. Second down, call it 8. And this time it is Moore, the fullback, wedging his way up to around the 37 before he is stopped. Third down for the Spartans. They need about 4, and McAllister gets to the outside, gets the first down. He crossed the 45 and picks up a first down. Now this is what they want from him. Remember what George Perlis said. He wants him to run north and south. First down. And McAllister comes, makes the pitch, keeps it, goes to midfield, 5 yards. Here's your wishbone. They just turn around and pitch it back to Lorenzo White. And White is going to be held short of the first down as they knock him out of bounds around the Michigan 46. Anthony Mitchell got the hit on him.
And this is the wishbone, double tight end wishbone.
White's got it again. But he isn't going anywhere that time as number 30 came up like a bullet, John Milligan, and got him. Greg Montgomery, averaging right at 46 yards per kick, ranked number 5 in the nation, but by the end of the season maybe better than that. Eric Campbell is the deep man for the Wolverines. He hits it high. He wants to kill it short of the goal line, and he's going to, forcing Campbell into a fair catch back at the 8. So the Wolverines have the ball back on their own 8-yard line. 39 yards, very efficient kick by Montgomery with 8:16 to go in the first quarter. Perlis is eyeballing his defense. Michigan took the ball and marched it down the field. The defense really didn't get involved until they got inside the 10-yard line. Then they shoved him back and forced him to take a field goal. They go to Jamie Morris. Morris is hit, fumbles the football, and Michigan has recovered it. Morris trying to get outside, can't do it. He's going to lose another yard. Now it is third down and about 12. Brown out of the end zone. Down the middle it goes, and it's drilled to Greg McMurtry, who makes the catch and picks up a first down at the 25-yard line. And the first 2 passes he's thrown, Bob, he has really had some zip on it.
Right on the money.
Not the balloons that he threw in his opening game. This is Jamie Morris. And Jamie is across the 30 out near the 31 before they get him. Morris hit behind the line of scrimmage. The defenders were there with the ball, and leading it, John Buddy. Third down and 9. Alan Jefferson is now in the backfield, and Jamie Morris out for a breather. As Demetrius Brown looks for Kolazar. Incomplete. Thrown a little too deep.
That's Gary Moeller, the offensive coordinator and assistant head coach. He's upset with Brown. Obviously, he threw to the wrong receiver. McMurtry was coming in over the middle on a square in route.
Got pressure on the kicker. Oh, they call it. It was a late flag, but he knocked him down. He hesitated a bit before he pulled the flag and then went ahead and pulled it.
I don't like this rule, Keith, because it's not the man's fault that's trying to block the punt. He gets blocked into him. He took an angle where he would have missed the punter. But because he was blocked, then the route changed. He was blocked into the punter, and it takes away some aggressiveness on the part of the punt block team when you have that rule in there.
So it'll give him another kick because it is not an automatic first down, so it is still 4th down. And Robbins now will have a little extra 5 yards to work with here. And he gets a much better kick out of it. All the way back to the 16-yard line. This is Andre Rison looking for some help, doesn't get it. Gets his shoulders upfield to the 24-yard line. That was a 51-yard punt. First down for Michigan State from the 24-yard line. Moore is your fullback. And McAllister straight back, throws it, gets it to White. White is picked up after a 9-yard gain, 1 yard short of his first down. First down just short of their own 34. Now you got Boyer and Rison both wide to the bottom of the picture. And McAllister gives it on a little draw to Lorenzo White. White trying to bounce it outside. Gets across the 35, near the 37. We check in with Jack Arute.
Keith, remember last Monday night when Giants coach Bill Parcells chuckled when they introduced the wishbone? Well, Bo Schembechler is not chuckling today. He was very concerned when Coach Peerless went with it in that first set of downs. He gathered his defense together, and they've been working it out. And hopefully, he says, during this set of plays, they'll be able to combat it a little bit better. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jack. Second down. And they have marked White out of bounds, and still it's about 10 yards to go here as McAllister's pass is down the middle and on the money, and a great catch by Boyer. Boyer had the ball come to him just as David Arnold nailed him, and he just hung on to it, tucked it away.
Well, Pearl has said it's going to be a physical game, and it's been that so far.
First down for the Spartans at the Michigan 45, and McAllister throwing again. Throws underneath to the 40. Good quick grab by Lorenzo White. Ball was thrown behind him a little bit. Second down and 5. They go left side with White. Good move by White. And he breaks it for the first down all the way inside the 25 of Michigan. And they've got a first down at the Wolverines 24. Michigan leading 3-0 in the late stages of the first quarter. McAllister gives it to White, and he's coming to the right. He got a block on the corner, but there's good pursuit by number 20, Anthony Mitchell. And Mitchell wouldn't let him cut it back inside. Second down, 3. McAllister down right about the line of scrimmage. They'll give him something on that. He'll pick up a yard or so. J.J. Grant had a piece of it. The ball is at the 16-yard line of Michigan, where it is third down and 3. Pitch it to White. Gets a block. First down. He's inside the 10. Down to about the 7. Doug Mallory, the strong safety, knocked him out. And it's first down and goal from the 7 for Michigan State. White again. Inside the 5. Touchdown for the Spartans. And it's good.
Into the end zone. Outstanding effort.
So the sellout crowd at Spartan Stadium turning their balloons loose as their team leads. 3:34.
Nice drive. McAllister, I thought, was the key there. Keith throwing the ball on first down and kind of loosening up that Wolverine defense to allow White to pick up some yardage.
That's a 31st career touchdown for Lorenzo White. Langloh kicks it off, and it's Jefferson a yard deep in the end zone for Michigan. Fumbles the football. Michigan State had a shot at it, but I'm not sure they got it, and they didn't. They did not. One Michigan man there, and Jamie Morris outfought him for the ball. All right, let's see what happens to Jamie now. His last 5 rushes, -4, -2, 0, 5 yards plus, and then -4. So the Spartans are really looking for him, but they go to pass on first down, set up a wide receiver, a flanker screen out here for Morris, and he moves it from the 28 up to about the 30 as John Buddy made the tackle. Time is run out in the first quarter of play at Spartan Stadium. Now look at this. You got 3 wide receivers spread out for Michigan. No tight end in the lineup right now. Jamie Morris has been the workhorse. Demetrius Brown back to throw it. Throws underneath to Morris. No, it's the fullback, Bunch. Jared Bunch, the fullback. Number 32, and he's up just over the 35 to the 36.
First quarter stats.
You got a man hurt, Percy Snow, coming off the field. Morris keeps it. Gets stuck pretty good by Derek Reed as he was trying to find some room coming around the corner. We'll have the Huskies and the Trojans next week. That snaps high, but Robbins gets it off. He's got pretty good hang time on it, but Rison will come back with it to about the 23. First down for the Spartans now, and Lorenzo White having a big day. He's got the ball again. Penalty flag goes down as White is cut down around the 29-yard line. Holding against the Spartans. After the penalty now. Michigan's defense penetrates. Billy Harris, sore ankle and all, decks Lorenzo White. McAllister gives to White. White weaving his way in traffic out to the 21. He's got Boyer and Rison to the wide side of the field as their wideouts. And McAllister rolls that way looking to throw. Gets it off. Oh, terrible pass. Awful. And it is dropped, just flat dropped by Eric Campbell, and Campbell could almost see the end zone.
They made a poor decision. When you take that long and you roll that way, the entire defense is going to roll there with you.
Just eat it. Be done with it. Montgomery in to punt. Knocks it out pretty well. Coming back to John Colasar. Colasar just squares up and bowls his way back up across the 40 to the 42. It was a 47-yard punt for Montgomery. All right, first down from the 42. Michigan State almost jumped. They're pointing at John Elliott, the left tackle, for having moved, and you got 2 flags, one from the linesman, and it looks like that may very well be the call as Big John kind of lost his concentration for a second. Brown to Morris to the 40, 3 yards. It's second down and 12 as Demetrius Brown drops to throw it. Comes one, got it to Colasar, and John is hauled down just short, apparently, of the first down. It'll be close. All right, it's third, 1.5 yards, and they go up the middle with it with the fullback Bunch carrying, and he will pick up the first down. Brown back to throw it again. He's under pressure. He gets away from one, but can't get his momentum back, and it's John Buddy getting the sack. Percy Snow is back in now. Huge loss on that play by Buddy on Brown. Ball all the way back to the 38 of Michigan. And they can't find any running room at all as Buddy again is right there on Brown. 8:40 to go in the first half. Michigan State leading 7-3. Brown throwing again. Gets it away down the middle, intercepted. Thrown right into the arms of John Miller. Penalty flag goes down as Miller gets back inside the Michigan 45. McAllister trying to set up a screen, lobs it out there. They've got the screen working. This is White. And Lorenzo White goes for a first down up to about the 47, 48-yard line. White again. Penalty flag. Penalty against Michigan State. So the Spartans make a mistake, hurt themselves after a 6-yard pickup by Lorenzo White. White again. He may be gone. Nope. Made his cutback. Number 15, David Arnold, made him cut back, and they were able to run him down. White having a big day. Had a big day last week at Iowa. He's got 100 yards already today and 12 carries. That play good for 47 of the 100. And it's first down for the Spartans. Go back to the wishbone. They're really working him. And he'll pick up a couple of yards on that carry. McAllister. Play very, very slow to develop, and Mark Messner just ate it up. Third down and 17. They'll outlaw them one of these days, too. McAllister gives the ball away as they try to reverse it with Bernard Wilson, and the Michigan Wolverines eat it up again, all the way back to the 35, and John Herman was the man. They may have taken him out of field goal range there. He has a good leg. Let's see what happens. Nope. Way short. Ball bounces down on the 3 and goes on into the end zone. From the 35, wishbone for the Wolverines. Jamie Morris. Three wide receivers. Demetrius Brown going deep for Kolesar. No chance. Demetrius shoots it down the middle. It's intercepted. A very good play by John Miller, his second interception of the day. Miller watching Brown, read his eyes, read him all the way. And here comes Lorenzo White. And he's got a first down. White going the other way. He's inside the 15 to the 13. Another Michigan State first down. Threatening again. Fullback. Moore powers to the 8. Picked up almost 5 yards on the carry. Second down. Ezor. Sophomore from Las Vegas, and they hold him up at about the 11. Third down and 3 from the 6. This is Lorenzo White, and he's going to have a first down, I believe, out of the carry before Alan Bishop could get him. From the 2, first and goal. White, touchdown.
White just strings it out and then dives over for the touchdown.
Laying low for the extra point. That's his 32nd career touchdown, and it's a new career touchdown record for Michigan State. Lorenzo is now the number 2 all-time Big Ten rusher. He's passed into second place, second only to Archie Griffin, who was a double Heisman Trophy winner at Ohio State. High-hanging, short kickoff taken by Allen Jefferson. And Allen comes back to about the 27-yard line. First down. Phil Webb is in the backfield now with Jamie Morris for Michigan. 14-3. The Spartans have the lead. 2 minutes to go as Demetrius Brown throws down the middle, and that's an outstanding catch by John Kolesar. They finally get John on the ground. Brown gives it to Jamie Morris. Morris is going to get to about the 44-yard line before he is thrown down. 3-yard pickup, Jackaroot.
Keith, what a marked contrast between the two sidelines here. University of Michigan, Bo Schembechler and the entire team, they're all downtrodden. They're just angry. They don't look as if they're really too pumped up. The same can't be said for Michigan State, however. They're bouncing around on the tiptoes. They're excited. Lorenzo White just winking and slapping everybody around. They feel they've got this game in hand, at least during the first half. Back up to you.
Second down and 7. Brown back to throw. Goes big. Colasar. No. John almost tracked it down. Call it 3rd down and 7 from the 44-yard line. Brown throwing again. There's holding right there, but they get away with it. And the pass is thrown to McMurtry, and it is good for a 1st down to the Michigan State 47. And I'll guarantee you there was holding. On the State 47, Brown, little play action again, throwing, gets it off down the middle, and that one is incomplete and almost picked off. Diving for the ball was Harlan Barnett. Came very close to picking it up. 2nd down and 10. Brown back again. Gets his pass off, and it's into the crowd. Incomplete. And he slaps his hands in frustration. Pass intended for Callaway, and Chris might have been available to him if he'd have been able to get it to him. 3rd down and 10. 3 wide outs, and Brown throwing. Pass is away, intercepted. That's Miller. John Miller has his 3rd interception of the ball game at 26 seconds to go in the 1st half. Let's see if they don't just run out the clock now. Give it to Lorenzo White. And that'll get the clock going. And they're going to let the clock go. And they'll go to the clubhouse at halftime with the Michigan State Spartans leading the Michigan Wolverines by a score of 14-3. And it appears the Big Ten standings may be getting a shaken on this Saturday afternoon. As Mike Gillette will get ready to kick off here, and Michigan State will have Craig Johnson and Blake Ezor deep. Ezor 26, Johnson 28. It's going to be Ezor. Had a little trouble. James Moore and Lorenzo White in the backfield behind Bobby McAllister. Andre Rison, who's been quiet so far today. 1 wide out, and Willie Boyer the other, and it is Lorenzo White. And the Wolverines jumping. McAllister again to White. And White just runs over behind the left guard, Kula. And now they put the tight end in motion and pitch it back to White. White trying to find some daylight. Will get it out to about the 15, and that'll do it. As the Wolverines come out fired up to start the 2nd half, and Montgomery comes on now. Montgomery standing at the goal line, gets a low snap, no pressure, gets it out. A low kick. Colasar back deep. He's going to take it on the bounce at the 44. And go down about the 45. This is Jamie Morris squirting through. 2nd down, 5.5. Right it off, keep it. Ran a little bit of a belly there. The old belly series. It's 3rd down and 2 for Michigan at the 46 of Michigan State. They go to Jamie Morris. He's got the 1st down. Morris is literally at the 44, just inside it. Or the officials might call it the 43. Vitale snaps it. Ball goes from Brown to Morris, and 2 yards as Percy Snow gets the tackle. It's a little different system, but effectively winds up the same, that Chris Spielman has that kind of freedom over at Ohio State.
They cover the offensive lineman, let him run side to side, make tackles. 2nd
down and 8, and Demetrius Brown looking to throw it. Goes down the pipe, and it's picked off again. Overthrew the man, and Todd Crum has this one. And so the Michigan offense continues to self-destruct under the young quarterback, and we've got a penalty flag. They're going to wave it off, I think. He did call personal fouls there, but they're offsetting personal fouls, so it has no particular impact. It's Michigan State's ball out at their 30, and McAllister gives it to Lorenzo White. And ain't going anywhere this time. David Arnold was camped on the riverbank, and he got him. McAllister's going to turn it upfield and won't get much out of it. That's blocking, pushing in the back. Illegal use of hands. 14-3, Spartans lead, 9:20 to go, third quarter. 3rd and 12 from the 28. Run it with White. And they finally lasso him 2 yards short of his first down with Mark Messner and Eric Campbell, the primary tacklers on the play. Colasar is deep. This time Montgomery hits it. Hangs it up there. Colasar at the 16. Down at the 13. That's Carlos Jenkins, a linebacker, a freshman, number 51, who was really flying. Colasar will come wide to the bottom of the picture now. Brown sets him up with Morris, the I-back. Jamie's got it. Up close to the 15. 2nd down and 7 from the 15. Brown back. Let's see if he learned anything. Down the middle, pass caught for the tight end. First time Jeff Brown, the tight end, has seen the ball all day. And it's good for a first down up to the 25-yard line. Jeff Brown leaves the ball game, a little gimpy. And they go to the fullback, Jared Bunch. And maybe a yard, that'll do it, because there was just no daylight inside that time. 2nd down, 9 for the Wolverines. Michigan State man jumped, got back, made no contact. Brown gives the ball to Morris. Morris hit behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and about 8. Ball out at the 27-yard line. Brown throwing. Caught by Colasar. Good for a first down at the Michigan 48-yard line. John danced in between two and took a lick, but held the ball. Want to throw it again on first down to the sidelines. He throws another interception. John Miller has 4 interceptions in the ball game. I mean, he's not a robber. He's a professional thief today. Right now, the Spartans have the football, first down, at their own 39, and they lead 14-3. And McAllister gives it to Lorenzo White, and he steps away from one, but there are just too many white shirts there. He got away from Doug Mallory, but then finally is corralled. They're scuffling around over the ball, but he was down. I remind you one more time that Andre Rison has not seen the ball today at the end of a forward pass. And he won't this time either, as the fullback, James Moore, carries for Michigan State. And you've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. And 3rd down and 13. They pitch it to White again. And Lorenzo again puts a shoulder on a couple of tacklers and just booms upfield. But it's going to be punting time for the Spartans. Montgomery comes in one more time. Colasar is the beat man for Michigan. Crowd, incidentally, is 77,424. And Montgomery's hit a beauty. Colasar lets it go. It takes a bounce into the end zone. They almost got down there, but it'll come back to the 20. It's a 57-yard punt. And he had just enough spin on it that he almost backed it up. There's a fellow you know, Bob.
That's Steve Furness, the defensive line coach for the Spartans. Came over from the Pittsburgh Steelers with Perlis. He was a defensive lineman when Perlis was the coach. He has helped install that stunt 4-3. Perlis felt like he needed a player to come over and explain it to the players and the other coaches. Doing a nice job of it.
Demetrius Brown stays in at quarterback. Big, deep drop, and he's in serious trouble, and he is down. They're going to mark him down just short of the goal line. Travis Davis got him.
Now he sets up. He wants to throw the screen. He looks over there, and the man is covered. Now he tries to do the best he can and get away from the defensive lineman.
2nd down and about 30. Wedges out for a yard, and that's it. Brown turns and gives to Jamie Morris, and Jamie runs hard through the traffic and gets out to about the 8 or 9 yard line. And now Michigan's Monty Robbins will come in and have to kick it. Robbins, 51 and 48 on his first 2 kicks. He's got another beauty. Runs Andre Rison back to the 34. Got a big return, though. Back to about the 49 and a fumble on the field, and Michigan has recovered it. Andre Rison had the ball knocked loose. The Michigan State defense has been on the field most of this third quarter. Got a minute to go. Give the ball off to Bunch. Bunch is, nope, he kept it. He bellied the ball to Bunch, and the quarterback, Brown, kept it. Second down and 8 for the Wolverines. Jamie Morris. And he slips and he drives to the 40. So they'll need about 3.5 as we use up the third quarter of play. So we've got 15 minutes to go. Ball just short of the 40 on the Michigan State side. Third down for Michigan. Brown keeps it. Flips it outside to Phil Webb, and Webb dives across the 35 and picks up a first down for the Wolverines. Kurt Larson had to leave the game for Michigan State. Shaken up, Dixon Edwards replaces him. Redshirt freshman. Ball goes to Jamie Morris. Morris is caught and held. Falls forward, picks up maybe a yard or so, and John Miller, who has had a spectacular day for Michigan State's defensive bastion, makes the hit. Second down and 8. 32-yard line. Demetrius Brown pitches it back to Jamie Morris. Got a block on the corner, and Snow gets just enough of him to stop him. But Jamie Morris has picked up another Michigan first down. Chris Callaway wide to the bottom of the picture. Kolazar to the top. First down, Wolverines. Dennis Morris. And Jamie from the 21 to about the 18. Make that a 2-yard pickup by Jamie Morris. Ball is on the 19 of Michigan State. Wolverines need the TD here to stay in the hunt. Ride it off to the fullback, and Bunch will have a yard or so. Michigan State defensive people, I again say to you, they have been on the field most of the second half. 3rd and 7. Crowd gets into it. Brown back to throw. Gets it off down the middle. Caught. And touchdown, Morris. He got his feet tangled up when he made that turn and never did get his balance back.
They were late. The problem was Michigan had a wide receiver that was late in getting off the field. He was over there thinking that he had to cover him. When he ran off the field, he said, I've got to be on the other side, and he didn't have time to get there.
Michigan apparently planning to go for 2, and they have just spent a timeout in order to make those plans. That leaves them only 1 timeout remaining. Bunch is the lone remaining back. They run Kolesar. That gives them trips on the left side, and Demetrius Brown rolls it out and throws it. Got it. Kolesar. The Spartan lead has been cut to 3. It's a 14-11 ball game, 12:06 to play. Greg Johnson and Blake Ezor, 28-26 for Michigan State, deep for Mike Gillette's kickoff. Oh, dribbled it a little bit. It's Johnson. Got to put that ball away. He's got it sticking out there like a loaf of bread, but he gets away with it and comes back to the 28-yard line. Now the question is whether or not George Perlis and his coaching staff are going to release the Michigan State offense a bit here. They've been terribly conservative. They don't have a first down in the second half. And they're just simply going to have to give McAllister a little more rope, I think.
Take a look at the scoring drive that was after that fumble. They got the ball on their own on the Michigan State 47-yard line and took it 8 plays and got a touchdown. The strength of Michigan State's team is not their quarterback, and they'll see if they let him do something as far as throwing the football.
They got a double tight end alignment. Rison, the wide man. They go to White. Lorenzo somehow got through and turns it big. Gets around the corner and goes to the 40-yard line. 12 yards for White. That was a great run. power lineup is in there now as they go to the wishbone and give it back to White. And he slipped up in the air and goes down around the 40 as Alan Bishop, his cornerback. Boyer and Risen come to the wide side of the field, bottom of the picture. McAllister going to throw it. Goes down the middle with it, and he drills Boyer. First down, Spartans at the Michigan 43. Boyer shaking a little, comes out of the ball game. Now they go back to the eye. Give it to Lorenzo. Found another crack on the right side. And he's got that change of gears. He gives you one speed, but when he sees the daylight, he shifts gears, and he's got 171 yards on 28 carries. Second down, 5. This is the fullback, one of the few times today that the fullback on either team has seen the ball. James Moore pounds inside the 35. White has the first down. Nothing fancy. White again. And coming up to make the hit, Alan Bishop. USC is up to their hits and ducks in Oregon today. Back goes McAllister to throw. Pass is overthrown. Risen was coming back to the ball. McAllister was getting a lot of heat from Billy Harris, and he overthrew his target. All right, it's third down and just about 10. They go to Lorenzo White to the short side of the field, and there just isn't enough room because the Michigan defensive people absolutely plugged the lanes. And now it is fourth down, and look for Langloh. Puts the tee down at the 33. It is a 43-yard try. He tried a 52-yarder going the other way, and it was short. Montgomery puts it down. The kick is up. And it is good. Barely. Just barely. Michigan State opened up its offense a little bit that time. They've been pretty quiet in the second half. And it resulted in 3. That's a good strong kick by Langloh. It's Jefferson at the goal line. And comes back to about the 24-yard line. Wishbone for the Wolverines. The crowd is into it. The handoff to Jamie Morris. Going outside, still going outside, and finally Percy Snow drags him down after he picks up 8 yards. Morris runs into Travis Davis, big defensive tackle sophomore out of Warren, Ohio, all near the 36. 77,424 here making noise. Jamie Morris pounds along as Michigan grinds it out, and it'll be third down and about 2. 6-man front for Michigan State. Brown keeps it, dives, and picks up the first down. He bellied to the fullback, slid off tackle, got in behind Elliott, and he picks up the first down. 6.5 minutes to play. They give it to Jamie Morris. Morris is hit right at the line of scrimmage. The penetration that time coming from Harlan Barnett. For one, Joe Bergen, who's been over there on the side jousting with Big Elliott all day. Second down and 10 for the Wolverines. Brown keeping, caught, fights, 2 yards. The Wolverines have the ball, third down, and call it 7. From their own 49. Michigan State defense bouncing around. Demetrius Brown to throw it. Comes one, complete. Caught by McMurtry. And a first down at the Michigan State 36-yard line. 6 men up front for Michigan State. Ball given to Jamie Morris, and Morris is decked for the loss. Loss of about a half yard on the carry. It's second down. Demetrius Brown gives to the up man. Garrett Bunch, the fullback, and he pounds along close to the 31, and that's about a 5-yard pickup. Brown back on 3rd and 6, gets it away, intercepted. That's the 6th of the day. Harlan Barnett for Michigan State, still going. And finally out of bounds, up at the 45.
I've been there before, though. I know how he feels.
It'll just make him tougher.
He's a tough kid. I remember the story when Schembechler went down to Miami to recruit him. And he asked his mother, he says, Michigan is a cold place and a long way away from Miami. She says, I want him out of here. And he asked Demetrius, he says, you think you can take the pressure of playing on national television in front of a 70,000, 80,000? He says, I can take it. Schembechler challenges his players and makes better men of them.
Lorenzo White, also a Floridian from Fort Lauderdale, who's had a big day today. Just hammers over the right side from the 46, gets a yard. 2nd down and 9 for Michigan State. Michigan with no timeouts remaining now as the Spartans again go conservative, and they're trying to grind out as much of the clock as they can. But they're now going to be looking at 3rd down and long. Other scores in the Big Ten today. Purdue beat Illinois 9-3. Minnesota won, Iowa won, and Indiana beat Ohio State convincingly 31-10. Raleigh Dotch, an old friend of mine and of George Perlis, watching today's ball game. We'll finish the story in a moment. 3rd down and 8. They go back to Lorenzo White. And Lorenzo gets to midfield, and that's all. It'll be 4th down, and the Spartans are going to have to give it up. But Raleigh, who played here at Michigan State in the trenches, 53 and 54, hospitalized up in Minneapolis.
Michigan's up there, look like they may do something.
Sending 10. Colasar's the deep man. Montgomery roots it out of there. He didn't get all of it. Colasar comes up to the 14, drops it. Now there are green shirts everywhere. John has great speed, but he can't outrun that many. Demetrius Brown, 11 of 23, 147 yards and a touchdown, but there are 6 interceptions. And John Miller has 4 of them, the strong safety for Michigan State.
Well, his problem now on this drive is going to be the clock, obviously. He's got 49 seconds. No way to stop it other than to make a 1st down or throw it out of bounds.
But he does have wide receivers who can fly. McMurtry, Colasar, Callaway. Lets it go down the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended for McMurtry, who is the bigger of the wide receivers at 6'3", 200, and Kurt Larson, who had to leave the game a little while ago, shaken up, back in. Larson matched up with him well in size, 6'4", 230. 2nd and 10, 44 seconds. Out by himself, out of the backfield, Phil Webb stops the clock out of bounds at the 33. And that's a 1st down for the Wolverines. Pickup of 13 yards. First down, Brown. Shoots it. Intercepted. That's 7. Todd Crum, 2nd of the day. And Michigan State has the ball and the ball game with 26 seconds to play. Big win for George Perlis. First time a Schembechler coach team will have lost at Spartan Stadium since 1969.
Plenty of time to throw. The problem with Brown, he sees his receiver, but he doesn't see the defense. What you need to do as a quarterback, you know where your receivers are going. You have to throw the ball away from the defense as much as to the man. Todd Crum nominated for the Jim Thorpe Trophy this year, emblematic of the best defensive backs. He has 2 today.
All they have to do is roll the clock. And the clock is on its way now, and the crowd can start its cheering. and the game is over. Big happy moment in East Lansing, Michigan, as the Michigan State Spartans defeat the Michigan Wolverines 17-11. Michigan opened with a loss to Notre Dame. A lot of turnovers, 7 of them. They come up here today against another tough team after running over 3 opponents. Ran into a bunch of tough guys, and they have 7 interceptions in this ball game, and they lose by 6. So it's a big moment for George Perlis, who has not had the kind of success he had hoped in his 5th season. And it looks like his program has arrived.